This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 6, 4 English vocabulary words to discuss college in the U.S.
Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. In the last episode, we asked if the price of college in the U.S. is worth it. Today, we give you 4 key vocabulary terms to start a conversation about this topic with a native speaker in English. How you doing today, Michelle? How is life in New York City?
I am good. I'm good. It's actually a beautiful day today, so I enjoyed. I had to go somewhere this morning, so I took a walk, and it was nice. So how are you?
That is awesome. I'm good. It's beautiful here in Denver, Colorado as well. Feeling good. So, Michelle, on the episode last time, we were talking a little bit about asking the question, is college worth the price in the US? Right? I mean, prices are crazy high, but today, when we talk about this topic, I feel like this is something we might talk about, our listeners might talk about in English with friends or native speakers. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. It's a very, very common topic. I think a lot of people have many opinions to share, a lot of things that they want to learn. And so, yeah, this is something that comes up for sure.
This definitely comes up. So, guys, in this episode, we're going to give you 4 solid phrases that you need to have this discussion yourself, because the whole point of All Ears English is connection, not perfection. We want you to be able to take these tools and go out and connect with a native speaker in English or anyone in English, right, Michelle?
Exactly. Very good point, Lindsay. So yeah, these are words or expressions that you can use in these conversations. So very, very useful. Should we get into the first one,
Yeah,
Lindsay?
let's go for it. What is that first one, Michelle?
The first one, it's an adjective. It's prohibitive.
Oh, I love that one.
Prohibitive. It's kind of fun to say.
Prohibitive. Yeah, it kind of rolls off your tongue. And this means something that is just too expensive to be able to purchase. I mean, when I was living in New York, it did feel like a lot of things in New York City were prohibitive. What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah, I think it's a famous city for its prohibitiveness.
Although, you know what city is really prohibitive is Tokyo. I mean, you've visited Japan. You and Dan took a trip to Japan, right?
Yes, I have been there. Yes, it was it was expensive there for sure.
Yeah, I really felt like it was prohibitive. But anyways, these cities are just world-class cities and you gotta go anyways. So how does this fit into education? Here's an example, guys. Write this down. The cost of education in the US has become prohibitive. And I kind of agree with that. I think 20 years from now, I just don't think kids are going to be able to afford to go to college.
It's a little bit scary how quickly the prices move up.
I know. Can you think of any other industry where the prices move up that fast?
Oh, there's got to be something, but I feel like education is very, very high on the list. What do you think?
It's kind of crazy. So it's completely prohibitive. And guys, before we move to the next word, Michelle, let's remind our listeners what they should make sure they do so they never miss an episode of All Ears English.
Guys, you got to follow the show. So definitely make sure to follow us. We are here 4 days a week for you to, talk about all things English, really live this motto of connection, not perfection. So make sure that you follow the show.
Exactly. So hit follow, hit subscribe wherever you are listening. Make sure you follow All Ears English. Okay, Michelle. So the next one is to be worth it.
Yes.
Right. So give me an example. Like, what does this mean?
Well, it basically means if something is worth it, it means the reward justifies the cost of doing something. So let me give an example. Is it worth it to eat that piece of chocolate cake?
Usually it is.
My answer is always yes. But there's a lot of things you can use, but you could say, is college worth it? Or is it worth it to buy the book or to buy the paper copy, or should I use an online copy? Something like that.
Yes.
The amount of effort you put into something or about money you put into something, is it justified?
Yeah, that's a good example. Or just another example, as you guys are having this conversation in English about the cost of college, you might talk about living on campus versus living off campus. So is it worth it to live on campus?
Yes.
Right? The price is so high. Eating in the dining hall where the food is usually not that good. So is it worth it?
Exactly. So yeah, the next one is advantageous. This is another adjective. So this is something that puts you ahead of others. So it gives you extra help. So for example, going to college can be advantageous, or learning a language is advantageous.
Guys, these are impressive vocabulary words. I have to say, if you're taking the IELTS exam, or if you are just talking to a native speaker and you start throwing around words like prohibitive and advantageous, it just is really advanced, and this will help you connect with that speaker. Okay. So good. And now we have a fun one. We have another idiom, Michelle.
Yes.
What is it?
It's to pound the pavement. So this is an idiom, and it means to work hard to reach your goals. I mean, I think literally about like going around New York City, just like, walking with like very heavy footsteps. That's just what I think of. But yeah, just working hard, right? So for example, to get what you want in life, you need to pound the pavement.
Yeah, and I could imagine this on a college campus. Maybe you need to join all these different clubs. Maybe you need to be the president of the business club, right? So that's the literal example in the university world, to pound the pavement up and down campus. But Michelle, you and I have the same picture of this idiom. When I think of this idiom, I think of trying to find my apartment in New York in 2006. My roommate and I, we were just literally running up and down Midtown, downtown, uptown, because, on using Craigslist at that time, something became available uptown. So we run uptown and downtown, and then finally you sign, and you have to sign in like 5 minutes. You can't think about it. It was crazy.
Yeah. I know. You really got to get moving quickly on that stuff.
You gotta move. So that's the New York experience. And guys, these completely apply to life in New York, life in the US, or of course, talking about college, right? The experience of being in college in the US. So good. So good.
Good. Oh my gosh. Lindsay, this was fun. I'm glad we talked about this.
Yes.
And guys, remember to follow All Ears English wherever you are listening to the podcast.
All right. I'll see you in the next episode, Michelle. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.